Take a good look at this image. It's more than just a picture, you know? It's really a snapshot of a hidden reality. See, our cities are full of resources, but when buildings reach the end of their lives, they become these mountains of waste. It's like our very own urban forest, made of discarded materials. And today, we're going after one of the biggest trees in that forest, wood.
And the scale of this problem, it's just staggering. Get this. Every single year in Canada, we're talking about 2.4 million tons of wood waste from construction and demolition alone. That is a mind-boggling amount of valuable material that's just lost. Most of it ends up in a landfill, where it starts pumping out methane, which, as we know, is a really potent greenhouse gas.
But what if we could just flip that script? What if, instead of seeing an endpoint, we saw a gold mine of resources just waiting for us? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. This is the digital blueprint for how we can start mining our cities and turning all that wood waste into actual, tangible worth. Just imagine this for a second. What if every single piece of lumber, every beam, every board had its very own digital passport, a rock-solid record that tracks its whole life story, from the moment it's identified inside a building about to be torn down, all the way to its next life as a brand new product? And look, this isn't science fiction. This is the heart of the solution we're talking about. So, how does this digital blueprint actually work? Well, it all unfolds in 3 key stages. First, you've got upstream planning. That's about finding the value before a single wall comes down. Then we move to midstream tracking, where we create that verifiable digital trail. And finally, downstream monetization. That's where we connect the wood to new markets and turn it into real value. And yes, that includes carbon credits. All right, let's start at the very beginning. Upstream planning. This is a total game changer. We're shifting away from just demolishing things reactively and moving towards smart, proactive deconstruction. It's all about knowing exactly what's inside those walls before the wrecking ball even shows up. And the key piece of tech here is something called Building Information Modeling, or BIM for short. The easiest way to think about it is like a super detailed 3D digital twin of a building. Now, it's often used to help design new buildings, but its real secret power is in creating a precise blueprint for taking them apart. And this is where it gets really cool. With BIM, crews can digitally scan a building and tag every single piece of wood, figuring out what's clean, high-value lumber versus what's treated or contaminated. This lets them plan a kind of surgical deconstruction, carefully saving the good stuff instead of just bulldozing the whole thing into a worthless pile of junk. And hey, this isn't just a theory. The source material is clear on this. BIM gives demolition teams the actual, practical tools they need to see what's where, get accurate counts, and plan the whole process. It's like giving them a treasure map to the gold hidden inside our old buildings. So, what's the big takeaway from this first stage? It's simple, but it's so important. You absolutely cannot save what you don't know you have. Planning ahead with tools like BIM, it turns an unknown mess into a known, valuable asset. Okay, so now we know what we have. The next question is, how do we prove it? Right, so we found the good wood. Now we're in the midstream phase. This part is all about tracking that material the second it leaves the site. It's about creating an unbreakable, totally verifiable digital paper trail. And believe me, this step is absolutely critical for building trust and accountability. This really lays out the massive shift in thinking. The old way was just chaos, right? Mechanical demolition, all the waste gets mixed together, and everyone just assumes it's headed for the landfill. But the new way, it's precise. Selective deconstruction gives you clean, separated materials, and their journey away from the landfill can be proven with hard data. And that documented trail has a name. It's called the chain of custody. Remember that digital passport we talked about? Think of this as the official stamps in it. It's the whole sequence of digital handshakes that proves, without a doubt, that this wood went to a recycler, not the dump. And let me be clear, without that unbroken chain, you can't prove your impact and you definitely can't claim any carbon credits. It's that simple. And if you're wondering if anyone's actually doing this, the answer is a resounding yes. It's already happening at a pretty big scale. More than 500 jurisdictions all across North America are already using web-based software to track this exact kind of waste. So no, this isn't some tiny pilot project. It's a proven model that works. And these platforms are seriously powerful. They're like a digital watchdog. They let regulators watch what's happening in real time. They store all the proof. We're talking waybills, photos, reports for any future audits, and they can track how well the industry is doing at meeting its goals. It creates a transparent system that keeps everybody honest. Which brings us to our final and maybe the most exciting stage, downstream. Okay, so we've planned it, we've tracked it, now it's time to give these materials a new life and connect them to new value. We're talking digital marketplaces and, you guessed it, monetization.
See, for a circular economy to actually be an economy, you need a market. You can't just have a pile of wood, you need someone who wants to buy it. That's where platforms like Reply come in. In Ontario, it's already powering a marketplace that's like an eBay for salvaged materials, connecting businesses that have stuff with businesses that need stuff. The bigger vision even includes open source platforms for concepts like rehome depots, making reclaimed wood as easy for you or me to find as new lumber.
Now, this is where all that data really pays off. Just look at this. It shows you the direct link between the quality of the wood and how much it's worth. Clean, separated wood, that can be turned into high-value stuff like biochar or particle board, and it's got a high chance of getting carbon credits. But as you go down the list to treated or painted wood, the options get slimmer, and the value drops. This is what all that tracking makes possible, telling the good stuff from the bad and building a reliable supply chain for a real circular economy. So here it is, the ultimate payoff. All that data we've been collecting, from the BIM models at the start to the chain of custody tracking in the middle, it's not just for moving wood around. It is the verifiable proof you need to turn that diverted wood into official, tradable carbon credits. In Canada, all that data has one final destination, the federal government's credit and tracking system, which they call CATS. This is the official system. It's where all this information has to end up to be recognized and turned into credits. Think of it as the government's official scorekeeper for this whole process.
And here, you can see the whole thing from start to finish. It all begins with upstream planning, which flows into midstream tracking, which makes the downstream monetization possible, and all of that data culminates in the official CATS system. It's a seamless workflow that turns what was once a pile of trash into a verified, valuable carbon credit.
So at the end of the day, what does this whole digital system give us? It gives us trust. It creates the transparency and the proof that everyone, investors, regulators, you, me, needs to actually believe in a circular economy for building materials. It's how we transform our waste streams into value streams.
Which leaves us with one final thought to chew on. For centuries, we've been extracting resources from deep inside the earth. But we now know our cities themselves are these incredibly rich repositories of materials. The technology is here, the digital blueprint exists, so the only real question left is, are we ready to start mining our buildings?